Hello! Hello, is anybody there? Tonight we've had obviously a fantastic launch of the Soyuz. We've had Kate Rubin, hopefully not an employee of Drax Industries, because it looks like she's incredibly enthusiastic when working with lethal pathogens in her lab. I look forward to our new spaceborne queen or whatever. No, seriously. Hello everyone, how are you? Sudden noises! E2020 Vision, Vox Tuberism, Ike Me, or Like Me, Black Dove 105, Zepesk. Zepesk is obviously a name of a system on the Soyuz, obviously. Zunamed is saying, "What is this now? What is this now? Is your doom and destiny and things like that." I'm not sure what I'm doing actually. I'm gonna increase the diameter here, something here, and bump this thrust up a bit so I can get the thing down, and we're going to try launching this to see what happens. Are we ready? Hello from France, Scott. Hi, France, Scott. Oh wait, you're saying to me, Scott. Hey, so how fast do you think this will go? Very fast. I think I need to relaunch that. Revert to launch. Okay, actually, after blowing things up, I feel that now enough people are here. We should introduce the beer of the day, which is by Drake's Brewery of San Leandro. This is the Hopocalypse. It's a blood orange double IPA. Let's fire this one more time. Whoa. And the thing broke just before that. Okay. Revert to launch. We gotta fix that. Red Label is our fourth horseman of the apocalypse, representing the Red Horse and War. This double IPA that will annihilate the imposters with a blitzkrieg of critic hops and leave the brewhouse floors stained crimson red. Excuse me while I try to stop space being smeared crimson red due to things catching fire. Ignore match temperature. Yeah, we're kind of doing the gun thing again, because I figured that we had much to learn from it. So I also figured the ore tanks are very dense and therefore travel better. Hey, Bosso Me Luke is saying, "Hello, I've been a fan since the beginning of Interstellar Quest. I hope that I will continue to be fun and interesting." Let's see how high this is going to go. Yeah, Oh, it's just failing to escape the atmosphere at this point. We've added aromatic orange blossoms, honey, and thousands of pounds of California blood oranges for a West Coast double IPA with a twist, signaling that the end is beer. With its massive dry hopping and a subtle pink hue, this beer brings together an Armageddon of sweet citrus and aromatic hops. Oh, yeah! So, not going to take that off with the teeth, obviously. Get a bottle opener here. This is 9% alcohol, by the way, and it's quite a big bottle. So basically, my wife is out of town, and I'm taking care of the kids. We should be shooting for the moon again now that we've solved some problems. I am gonna try and work things up a little. Oh yes. So hands up who watched the Soyuz launch. Who is all fascinated about the possibility of Kate sequencing DNA in space? Yeah, in the Bay Area, we do not do things by halves. Cheers to everyone there. Batman Puncher saying, "Hi from Canada. This is the first Steam you've been able to catch live. I love your videos, though. Must be..." Whoa! Whoa, that's practically rocket fuel. Means it is appropriate. No, I really do like this. Salute to Echelon Mirror. Yeah, so it is interesting because this is, of course, a new generation of Soyuz. It's heavily they've had a lot of changes to it. Oh yeah, Bay Area always hella represents in my live streams because I'm in the Bay Area. So anyone had good Independence Day either in Canada or America, because obviously Canada had Independence Day on July 1st. Let's see how far this goes. I'm just going to run time forwards now. You say aliens? Demon What has said aliens. I was actually at an event with somebody that appeared in Ancient Aliens, and he was he had some interesting things to say about his seriousness, how they edited the content. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think we need a denser thing. No, I think, well, the ore canisters are very dense compared to other things, right? So, yeah, we're going to build this and make it bigger. So we're going to, first of all, try to get this into space, right? You're not even independent. The British monarch is still the head of state. Listen, independence is a relative term. By the way, I hope you guys in the US appreciate Britain and its, you know, its role as supplier of Independence Days to countries all over the world. Just kidding. Oh, 18 seconds. This needs to burn faster and longer or whatever. We need to make this burn. Oh my god. You were climbing a mountain on Independence Day. The highest point in New York. It was a pain. 14 miles round trip and it killed my feet. That was from Jayhawk997. I should figure out how to have this thing overlaid on the chat, on the screen. I know if you watch it on Twitch, you can see it. This is getting to look a little silly, isn't it? But we still need this burn time to be measured in a fraction of a second. Also, we need struts. Let's hear it for Juno, 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 USA. Yes, as I like to point out, Juno, it's great to see it get there. Funny that it arrived on Independence Day while depending on a British engine. But glad that we can still continue in our long tradition of transatlantic cooperation for greatness. Although Tony Blair answering questions, yeah, let's not talk about that. That's politics. This is still. I'm trying to get the burn time down to like a second. That's what I'm trying to do. So it's like a gun. Man, this could take some time. Yeah, hands up, you know, let me know what you're thinking of my current video output, because I'm really realizing that nobody gives a crap about half the games I play, even though I do, even though I love it. Oh, Green Rabbit is having fun with KSP, because he finally has a PC, which is, of course, I think it's interesting that he finally has it and he'll be able to play it on a console very, very soon. Ever had a Kiwi craft beer? I don't know that I have, actually. Okay, this... still getting there. It's got a 3-second burn. Well, let's try that. Oh, no. It would be very nice to see me play more Crusader Kings 2. I have a few ideas for what I might play today. I like the way that spun off there. I gotta watch that again. I love the way this pod just spun off into the water tower. That was fantastic. Yeah, once again, totally repeatable. Okay, I think we need some launch struts. We need a way to make this work. So, actually, I wonder if we put launch struts, will those collide with that thing? Who knows? We're gonna find that out. Ready? Launch the Kraken. Yes, Kraken strikes again. Yes, we are bells deep inside of things. I think the problem is that it was bells deep inside the launch pad, and because its bell is so big, its bells were deep inside the land. Here we go, let's see if this works. Okay, so... still, it gets too many G's, so we need something that is more aerodynamic. I should try launching a plane as if it were a rocket off one clap. But I've done that a million times before. Frozen Blueberries. Frozen Blueberries has a fantastic idea that I have actually done several times in the past, so therefore it's... meh. Okay, let's try to figure out how to make this more powerful. So, what I really want to do is build some way to shoot for the moon. Now, I have some mods here that may actually make things better, more powerful, that kind of thing, right? We do have procedural parts here. I don't have the procedural fuels, right? So we can do... I don't think we have procedural liquid tanks, but I can't make it like something else. So that's not good. We have a procedural ore tank, I guess. Where's the procedural ore? Procedural ore tank. Maybe that's what I should use instead. Let's do that. Let's put a procedural ore tank on, which will be denser. And we'll make it like a cannonball, right? So we're going to make it a fillet cylinder. And we're going to fillet it to death. There, look at that. It looks like a cannonball. And put as much ore as we can inside this sweet, sweet thing. No! No. Let's find this. Not that one. This one here. Okay. This might work. Hello from Ohio! Yes, what's going on in Ohio? I don't know very much about Ohio, but I do have... I did know somebody from Ohio, and he would always call soda pop instead for some reason, which I thought was very interesting. Yes, because if you miss, at least you'll be among the stars. You know, have you seen how what stars do to things? Okay, it's by the way, interesting. The bottle cap just keeps sticking to my watch because it has a magnetic clasp. Gotta fix that there. I think we're just gonna go and we're gonna see if we can get to the moon, right? Launch. So actually, what we should do is have we should maybe have this as the aerodynamic slug and have the pod underneath it. Ready? Okay. So that still has way too much drag. Okay. So let's revert flight to vehicle assembly building. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to ditch this command pod thingy, right? The command pod is going to get moved down. So actually, what we should do... I'm wondering if does making a procedural part the root of a spacecraft break it, or am I likely to regret this decision in a second? We're going to do this, and I'm going to put the command pod underneath it, down here. Bingo. Okay. And then, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to make this narrow, and long, so it's like a bullet, right? See this? I've got some plans here. I think ore is the densest stuff we have in the stock game. So I think that might work. Let's try it. Greetings from the Big Apple, then the other apple. Yes, that is... I think Shamash D has the correct version of that phrase. Shoot for the moon, but take effort to overshoot and by a very specific margin, so that way that when you miss, you will be sent on a gravity-assist-free return trajectory back home. It's not quite as snappy. I know that that lower section has a huge amount of drag, but I'm just trying to figure out how to work around that. There! I don't think this is even going as far. So much for the aerodynamics. Yeah, this isn't even going as high as the previous one. Okay. Gonna have to continue to work on these things. That thing looks disproportionate. Yes, it does. Let's make it longer. I think, you know what? I think it could be narrower. Let's just make it narrower, and we'll work back from this, right? Because I think that the huge amount of drag that this is getting may be responsible. I should take a look and see if I've got different kinds of ballast. There's good Amish food, huh? Okay. Is there what is good Amish food? I'm curious. The Daniel ICF is quoting Anchorman. I think that's an exaggeration. Der Dutchman in Walnut Creek is amazing. Okay. Procedural cone sounds like a good insult. Yes. So yeah, come on. Let's keep talking about all sorts of interesting things. I'm actually looking to see if there are utility things that are like ballast. That's what I'm looking for. Maybe I thought I'd added ballast to this. Oh, test weight with changing weight properties. Maybe we should try this. Let me just see what this looks like. Pardon me. NRAP, electric charge. Can I adjust the mass on this? Reaction wheels. Total mass 10 tons. I wish I could change the size of this thing and make it smaller. New rocket assessment program. So 10 tons is pretty special. Electric charge motor propel. Is there any other test weights here? So I got to do like a 2.5 meter test weight. That seems incorrect. Let's try putting that back on. It still says fires for 1 second. I somehow don't believe that. Well, let's try attaching some stuff to this and see if... what I'm looking for is denser and denser materials so that we can... It will basically slice through the air. Click toggle window. What? Wait, someone's saying click toggle window. Toggle window, yeah! Okay, toggle window. Dry mass. 100. Thank you. Toggle torque. Diameter, make it thinner. Oh yeah, look, we're gonna make this like a depleted neutronium slug. That's what we're gonna launch here. Somehow I doubt that this delta V calculation is correct, so I'm gonna scale this thing up longer. Let's make it as long as we can. And you know what we should also do? I think I'm just going to try to attach... I was worried about these things here. I think I'm just going to attach them to the side and see what happens. Okay, thank you for this. So this calculation is completely bogus. I'll maybe keep it a 10-ton weight, right? 10-ton slug. We're basically making a giant bullet. That's what's going on here. So we're going for altitude with guns. That's the idea. So this is essentially trying to replicate something called the HARP, the High Altitude Research Project, where you essentially had very powerful guns shooting things very, very high. Grobs 1251 is asking what the objective is, and the idea is I want to shoot something into the moon. We want to build something where we're wanting to build a big gun because America. I mean, coming from the Bay Area, many people think that I'm some kind of Bay Area liberal, but the truth is that Bay Area liberals really like guns. We just want there to be rules. But we're not going to debate that further. Suffice to say, you know, I have no problem with smart, educated, well-trained individuals playing with their own toys. Okay, let's launch. No, the Americans didn't. No, the Germans did not make the biggest gun. The biggest gun, I believe, was made by Saddam Hussein, except it was never actually deployed. This... This is actually doing surprisingly well. Look at this. Wow. It's still essentially supersonic. Wow. Whoa. You know, I like how this is... It says it's 10 tons. Oh, wait, is it sinking? It looks to me like it's still floating. Is it sinking yet? I don't know. We'll find out. It total mass 10 tons. I like how it has. Okay, let's revert flight to launch. Okay, we've brought this with us. Oh, there it is. I do like the I like the thing that's coming out of this. You really like, so the Burnt Pancake likes my videos and would hope that I do more. I hope to do more videos, and I'm really looking for suggestions. I'm really looking for some interesting suggestions for things to do. I do have at least one more. I got a couple of Kerbal, you know, what Kerbal Space Program doesn't teach you videos, and we're gonna do better than bring the clamps to the moon. We tried that last time, right? We did that by cheating, right? You know what? If I launch this, hold on. I just want to see something here. If I launch this thing. So, I mean, any ideas are all welcome. See, this makes no sense. It says 4731, but that's clearly not the case. Once again, I did this by accident. I like the way how the launch clamps are still there. Okay. I'll cancel. Elite Dangerous exploration videos. Do people really watch those? I mean, I would love to explore in Elite Dangerous, but... okay, so if I increase the mass to this, toggle window, if I double the mass to this, will it slow down less? Apply. It says total mass 10. It says toggle window, it says apply. Apply. It's, oh, there it is now. Okay. Launch, see what happens. I purchased a bunch of stuff during the Steam sale. I purchased some VR games. Okay. Is this looking better? This is actually looking faster, right? Making it 10 tons. It's gonna go higher than anything before. Look at that. It's beautiful. Oh my, beautiful. Build a plane that can launch under its own power, land on a planet with full base on board. That would be a fantastic idea. So you want a plane-based... Somebody's suggesting maybe a plane-based series? Maybe. KSP Robot Wars. That's also an interesting concept as well. I could do, like, Elite Dangerous Exploration. I kind of have stopped, I don't know, I haven't looked at it recently, but what is happening? We're trying to shoot things into space. Okay, so now we gotta go back. Okay, so let's make this thing bigger. 5 meters, right? Oh, we can make it 6, 7, 8. The problem is here, right? That we can't really... We have to click this like a million times. Okay, let me just show toggle window. So if I make this like 100 tons now, that should make it much less likely to... It says apply. There we go. And I could... Well, I could make it taller as well. Ooh, yes. Apply. Okay. So we'll make it 100 tons, and then now we have to somehow accelerate this. The problem is, I just need to like hammer this button like a million times, and this could take a really long time. So I'm going to read chat while this is going on. I can't unfortunately show chat because, of course, I've never figured out how to do that correctly. Make the SRB cone-shaped. I could do that. Oh, great. Cone-shaped. Now we got to make it really big. And then bottom has to be like 7 meters, and this... So we're making basically a sprint rocket here. Is that what we want to do? Burn time is like 30 seconds. That's no good. 15 seconds. Did I see the Soyuz launch? Of course I saw the Soyuz launch. I posted all sorts of pictures of the Soyuz launch. Even, I like the bit where the camera cut over to Kate and she like waves. It's like, that's so cool. I have to say, I really enjoyed looking at all the pictures of her career, of her in all those isolation suits and everything, basically dealing with super lethal pathogens. And, you know, just smiling the whole time. There's some kind of joy in it. It's like those pictures of the guys that were assembling the Manhattan Project in their kind of shirts. Like, they were out in the desert, so they were just wearing, like, shorts, and they were working with plutonium, trying to build the Trinity device. Maybe try bringing back that series. I never did a series where I recreated historic launches. I've certainly I talk about them a lot. I should attempt a bomber plane to blow up the KSP Center. It's very hard to get bombs that are big enough to blow up the KSP Center. Okay, so our thrust is now up to 100 meganewtons. And we're still going up. I'm glad that procedural parts doesn't do anything to this. Maybe we'll change the texture. What have we got? That blue metal, charcoal, checker, core booster, core star, Delphi, diamant, Europa core gamma. Oh, gay pride. I'm totally taking gay pride. That's right. We're going to go with a gay pride rocket. Look, just to make sure so you can see it. Oh, yeah. Look, there we go. Wow. You know, I'm sorry. Yeah, absolutely. We just had Pride weekend like a week ago. We had Asteroid Day, so we are totally going to be launching with this. And I'm all cool with that. Grenade has been suggesting repeatedly that I replicate Operation Plumb Bob and send a manhole into orbit. So I don't see a way to do that. This is very similar to that, right? We're trying to get something that will go super, super fast. Now the burn time is 10 seconds. I'm just going to save this and launch it and see what happens. Fabulous. I mean, you know, let's make unbreakable joints. Okay, I do get a lot of guys that say, you know, they love me. And being Scott Manley, I don't have a problem because you know what? I'm completely comfortable with my heterosexual nature. So I don't feel threatened. And, you know, that's just the fact of things. I'm cool. And I live in San Francisco, so, yeah, whatever. Yeah, this is Kerbal Pride. Okay, this is really not going to work, is it? Revert to vehicle assembly. Even more... Yes, we're adding more Kraken to this. The amount of Kraken on this is immeasurable. And in fact, it's now... I can't remove these struts. That's it. Oh. Is it maybe here? No. You know what? I need to zoom in. Like, watch this. Oh. Ah, there we go. There... No, I thought I was going to grab that. There we go. Problem solved. Okay. On here and up there. I'm sure that was the problem. Let's try it. I'm just going to top up the beer because why not? By the way, Orion is just sitting off to the side there. He is playing games that are really not appropriate for kids. He's playing Mad Max. I guess there's just no way for me to fix that. Whose bright idea was that? Whose bright idea? I'm just going to make it back to a cylinder. I'm sorry. We're going to keep it as a cylinder. And more thrust. We're just going to do that. More thrust. I think it's a cylinder shape. I think that cylinders are a shape which are an aberration against nature. And therefore we need to... Okay, now I need to figure out how to remove these struts again. Oh yeah, nice colors there. Okay, that's not gonna work. There we go. Okay, yes, the cylindrical shape is clearly the problem. I like how I managed to take off that strut, but I didn't. There we go. Okay, try once again. Once again, back with the incredible Rhyme Animal. Public enemy number 1. Let's try this now. We are just basically plumbing the depths of the Kraken here. That's really what's going on. There it goes. Yeah. What I do like is that at 5 kilometers up, this thing is barely decelerating and will probably hit the ground at near supersonic speeds. I wonder if I can enable torque. Torque is disabled. Okay, maybe I do prograde. Oh look, it's turning very slowly to prograde. I like how it's still moving like Mach 3. Oh, now it's only going up at Mach 2.5. Nice! And also, note the way that it seems to be accelerating downwards. We're on a voyage to the bottom of the ocean. No, this isn't. This is. I really am trying to figure out a number of things. This is. Here's the thing, right? When I'm making videos, I've got to communicate science and things like that. So I have to be kind of serious. When I'm on Twitch, I can be just mess around with things. Nice. I do like the way this sank. It's now a submarine. I like the fact that it finally sinks. Okay, so we need to do some more stuff here, don't we? Okay, oh wow, I like the way these struts were just like, I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna do what the guy next to me is doing. Let's enable this window. Making it longer is kind of silly. Let's make it shorter so it's this like little peanut here, right? It might be too heavy, so let's reduce the mass to like 50. Did I apply? Apply. Okay. Let's see if that solves the problem. Because it might just be that it is literally too heavy to live. It is too heavy to exist. It's kind of collapsing into its own event horizon or whatever. Do you think I should remove the launch clamps? Oh, oops. Okay, well, so much for that. I realize as well that this weight, I kind of missed that earlier, but this test weight is kind of redundant. Or sorry, this test weight means that the probe is kind of redundant, so I can just put this on here. I think we need more launch clamps. Let's put like 8 of them on there. Actually, let's put 24 on there. Yes, Orion. I know the clamps are clipping the bell. I'm not sure that's what the problem is, though. Okay. Let's do it. Okay, well that didn't work. I know everyone's telling me my rocket clips into the ground. If you were here earlier, you would have noticed that the rocket clipping into the ground wasn't causing any problems. I shall lift it up above the ground. Maybe that's the problem. Yes, I know we are starting bells deep inside the launch pad. It's just the nature of this. Should we try that? Okay, yeah, that was it. We were bells deep inside the launch pad. And go! Okay, that didn't work so well. Okay, so what we need to do is move these launch clamps away. Uh-oh. 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 No, no. Uh-oh. No, 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 no. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No, 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 no. So what I'm gonna do is I have a cunning plan, my lord. It is more cunning than the Lord of Cunning... Cunningham. Never mind. Never mind. I can't remember any of that stuff. I have a cunning plan, my lord. It's been so long since I've watched that show. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna do that. And then we're gonna ditch these in stage 1 very quickly, and then everything should be happy. It needs fins or 30 reaction wheels, like 4,000 reaction wheels. I like this. Oh yeah, look at that. Well, let's try this. So this is accelerating a little more slowly than I would like. But the good news is... Wow, yeah, this is getting up to like 20 kilometers before... Yeah, there we go. So that thing should, in theory... Yeah, that's going to reach escape velocity, so I guess I could shoot the moon with that. Nice. Why are people like saying hitting Z? No, it doesn't matter because it's a solid rocket booster, kids. Right? No, the solid rocket booster doesn't care. Solid rocket booster doesn't care if it's 100% thrust. Because you cannot throttle a solid rocket booster. But you can, however, increase the amount of thrust here. And I would do that, but... Oh, there. My pointer seems to have disappeared. There it is. Okay. More thrust! Apparently my burn time is 23 seconds. So let's shrink the diameter back down again. I might need to shrink it back up. That's... okay, we'll try that. More thrust, though. So yes, we need more power. Many people are confessing in chat that they still press Z or Z, depending upon which part of the world they come from, when they light a solid rocket booster. Can I apply for Top Gear host number 3? I don't think I qualify. I don't think I qualify because I don't think I'm funny. I honestly, I haven't seen it, but I always thought Chris Evans was way funnier than me. Like, and despite being a ginger, I mean, honestly. Just checked my email. Apparently my new girlfriend is waiting. That's at Remajib. Are you trying to make us, you know what? Are you trying to make us jealous of having, like, a girlfriend and stuff? Because, you know, I'm married, right? So, like, yeah. Yeah. Auto clicker. That would be very nice. This is going to take a really, really long time. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen the new Top Gear, but I've just heard that it's like been a disaster. I have heard that what's his face from Friends has been Matt LeBlanc. I've heard he's been a revelation. Like he's been way better than he ever was in anything else he's ever done. But yeah, I've heard that Chris Evans has just been terrible, and it's really sad because I do remember Chris Evans being quite you know, smart dude and quite funny. But hey, okay, so We have a burn time of 11. I can't think that number is correct still. We're now down to 11.5 seconds. Yeah. I mean, I would really like to do an astronomy style TV show, like space science and stuff in the style of Top Gear. You know, obviously more talking about cars, maybe doing in-studio experiments and things, but generally lots of big numbers and yeah, WTFs and things like that. Ah, you see, it's a big conspiracy to have the European football thing on at the same time. I'm not a great car guy. I mean, look at me. The two cars I have is a Honda Odyssey minivan, which is basically a box on wheels. Granted, it will out-accelerate many muscle cars. RB Gamer, by the way, is asking me to play Plague Inc., and my kids love playing Plague Inc., and if Sky wasn't in the bath, maybe she would come and play Plague Inc.
I love Plague Inc.
Orion also loves Plague Inc. Oh, they didn't. No, they turned a Robin Reliant into a space shuttle. That was the old one. Okay, save this. Go. We're talking about things like that. I'd love to do Star Talk. I think I'd really like to do some more regular science stuff. Okay, here we go. I'm pressing Z for everyone. Oh, the other car that I have is a Chevy Volt, which is electric most of the time. Okay. This is not accelerating nearly as fast as I would like. Still, that's pretty good. It's actually going a fairly long distance into space. Yeah, the bungee girders need to be nuked early. I'm gonna have to do that. Revert to launch. We're trying to shoot the moon. We're trying to build the shortest launch process, right? So we have to get things burnt out in seconds and still shoot the moon. I might need a two-stager on this. I might need a two-stager. But we're ready to go. Ready, and... there we go. Those girders can go away. They will no longer impede my process, my progress. And bingo, 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 bingo. We're almost at 2.9 kilometers. Yeah, I think this has to be a multi-stage vehicle. It was Elon Musk's birthday a couple of weeks ago because his birthday coincided with the CRS-7 failure, if you remember. It was on his birthday, and we were expecting a landing out of it, and it didn't work, you know. You think a fairing will make a difference? I guess it might. Let's put a fairing on top of this. That is a very good idea. Someone is suggesting that we put a fairing on this spacecraft to, you know, make it more aerodynamic. You know, actually, we could make it the cone again. Let's try the cone of doom and see how that looks. Looks darn silly, doesn't it? Burn time is still 10 seconds, though. Oh, 6.3 seconds. Gonna burn this a little faster. Happy birthday, Elon Musk. Here's a big explosion. Wow. You see here, that's the thing. It's really hard to get a trajectory that hits the target. You notice that I'm just clicking this increase thrust button. Let's get up to 200 meganewtons. Would you do a Stellaris multiplayer live stream? Probably not, because I just don't have the time to randomly play with lots of other people. It's just really... it just basically, I end up without the time to do these things. There we go. I turned down the possibility of joining the big multiplayer thing, mostly because it was basically the week that I was submitting my last bug reports and things like that. So I was going to be in trouble if I did that. Okay, so now what we want... Okay, so... let's just try popping this off. Popping it off? Let's just pop it off for a second there. And we'll stick on some aerodynamics. Aerodynamics, you say? Oh yes, it's all the latest it's all the latest rage. Look, we're going to make it go faster. Okay, click on this. the bingo. There, look. Aerodynamics. Oh, fantastic. We got that aerodynamics out the wazoo, I say. Let's go for it. You can tell that this beer is pretty strong because whoa. Are we ready? Let's see if we can get it up to 3 kilometers per second. And I'm going to right click on this, by the way, and pin it because I knows when to ditch my stages. And nice! Nice, but it is not going to make it all the way to the moon, but it is pretty good. Oh, look at that. Look at the power in that thing! Okay, I think we're definitely going to have to do two stages. Have I fooled with the Osiris-Rex mission challenge? No, I haven't. But I am looking at the asteroid intercept mission that ESA is talking about. Now, they are going to send a spacecraft to Didymos, which coincidentally has a moon, which is colloquially referred to as Diddy Moon. Okay. Let's just follow this thing going up. Watch it, spin around underneath it, and we're going to land in the desert. I know you've done a lot of rockets, but maybe try space planes, SSTOs. So, Interstellar Quest actually ended up mostly being space planes, and a lot of people actually complained that I was doing too many space planes. So, maybe not. And nice. I like how we smashed underground. There was a little explosion under there. Okay, we're definitely going to need 2 stages to this. Oh, Green Rabid Rapid is actually saying, if you ever get the chance to watch the old 1908 Voyage to the Moon, it's on Netflix. Yes, it is. I've watched this and I've talked about it. So, Georges Méliès made one of the world's first science fiction movies. It was basically Voyage to the Moon. They've recolorized it. It's on Netflix, and it has a soundtrack by Air, and it is awesome to watch if you've been, partaking of some sort of, substances. It is a really interesting thing because it's such an early piece of work. If I had a ton of money, I would actually hire a lot of rocket scientists and NASA people to remake that. Like, I would love to remake that movie with NASA astronauts and rocket scientists and stuff in all the roles. I think it would just be a cool little, art project. Mort gotta finish beer. Wow, there's a lot of sediment in this. I think it may not have been kept refrigerated correctly. So I'm gonna try and leave the sediment behind. Be very careful with this. Be very, very careful. There's sediment. Oh dear, yeah, it's looking kind of nasty. And you probably can't see this, but I'm holding it up. There we go. I'm just going to try and leave that much behind. Drake's Brewing, though, they're a great local brewing. Yeah, I was considering a Kickstarter for that, right? We could have all the old, the old learned guys be what's his face? Neil deGrasse Tyson and things like that. Yes. Anyway. So I need to actually go back to the Space Center. I play Stellaris lots, and I'm now waiting for updates because I thoroughly enjoy... No, it's not. No. The sediment is supposed to be left behind. You play Eve and KSP. That is an interesting... Oh, Bill Nye. Yeah, he would be great. I mean, Bill Nye, obviously started out in TV. He understands, how to, speak to an audience, let's say. Unless that audience is basically hostile to him because he's the work of, he's speaking about the devil or something. Oh, okay, apparently this is now the thing. Tool reroute. Okay, now you can go off there. Okay. So we need a stage on this. We need to make this a 2-stager, unfortunately. Okay, I like how it says 31 seconds is how long this is going to take to burn. Wait a second, someone's playing. Do you play any non-space games? I love non-space games. I love so many games. Yeah, I think the thruster is creating lots of drag as well, but there's not much I can do about it. You know what I like is the fact that this says it's only going to do 150 meters per second of delta V here. Does it actually the mass? Oh, the mass is nothing here. It's only going to give me 150 meters per second. You know what? I think we need to decrease the mass of this toggle window. I'm going to make this 30 tons. Apply. So we just have to boost it. There's no way around it. Okay, so 240 meters per second. Okay. That is going to make staging interesting. So much for my nice idea here. Oh yeah, you know what? Procedural SRBs can't. They don't have bottom attached nodes, do they? No bottom attached nodes there. So much for that grand plan. Let's just stick it on there and just want to verify. Is there something I can attach it to down here? Nope. That's really interesting. Apparently I've actually broken the game. Oh, you know what? Just stop. Stop yourself. Oh, God. Okay. There we go. I was trying to do this. Oh, what's that? Medici service module. Yeah, see, there's no place to attach these things underneath, right? Yeah, we're definitely doing the gay pride thing because we're wanting to send as much. We want to send this tolerance to the moon. It's important to me. Okay. 166 meters per second. You know what? I think we just need to reduce the mass of this more. Let's make it 10. Apply. There, 437. And then inside here. Seriously, I do get the occasional message saying, "Oh, I wish you were gay." And I'm like, you know what? I totally understand, and you can have your fantasies and whatever, but I am very heterosexual. Okay, this and this. Oh, and this needs to fire simultaneously. There we go. Launch. Clear the launch pad and proceed. No, but we needed to make it heavy because the mat. Why has it gone dark suddenly? That is very strange. Okay, never mind. We're gonna go for it. And okay. Yeah, this thing, of course, burns really slowly. Oh well. Like, yeah, this is red hot. I'm just trying to shoot the moon. That's really what's happening. You'd like to hear my voice on sulfur hexafluoride. No. You know what? One thing we could do. Right, here. Okay, I have the perfect plan. I have the perfect plan, everybody. I'm gonna cheat. Okay. Have I tried a series using KSP colonization mods to colonize each planet / moon? Serious business is probably over. We might come back and use it to do, like I used the serious business build to do, what's his face? To do the Juno video. So I might still keep serious business and use it for basically simulations of things because I like doing the Juno video. Okay, so So. Let's just hyper edit this into orbit. Orbit. There we go. Okay. Now we're in orbit. Can we wait for the moon to appear in the right place? So I need to target the moon. Set as target. Stay on target. Stay on target. And so we're going to have to wait until it comes into the right orientation. And then... so wait, we're going to be facing back that way, I suspect, right? Yeah, so we don't want to fire it here because that will just ruin our velocity. So we need to wait for it to line up here. And then at the appropriate moment, we will fire those engines. Yes, the engine bells never get smaller here. The engine bells only get bigger. We are doing silly things. Pardon me, I'm just going to apply this. Oh, there we go. 200 kilometer orbit. Mostly so I can... Really? Let's do a 300 kilometer orbit. 300. Apply. That's more like it. Okay, so we're just going to stay in this orbit. And we're going to try to shoot the moon from orbit. Because really, I'm just running out of ideas here. Oh, I should probably target the moon, shouldn't I? Oh, it's unset target. Oh, the moon is already targeted. Why can't I see it here? Oh, there it is. There it is. Coming in behind me. Everything is flammable. Everything is cool when you're part of a rocket. Everything is flammable when you're living on the burn. You want to kill the I-beams? Okay, God, you guys. Someone wants me to ditch those I-beams because they're just going to be, like, in the way or something. Oh, you know what? We also have no power. Cheap menu. Infinite electricity. Okay. Oh, shit, wrong button. Oh, let's reverse this to launch. Okay. I've got into orbit using only Sepatrons. Been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. Right? I did that 2 years ago for Independence Day. I was like, if you were trying to get into orbit using just these little things, this is how big a rocket you would need. Okay, let's try that again. Let's go hyper edit, hyper edit, hyper edit. No, not orbit editor. Orbit editor. No, active vessel. 300. That's strange. Okay. Now we're okay. Yeah, we're doing this. Okay. So next thing we wanted to do was wonder why the ocean is here. Yay for Scatterer. I don't really do a lot of Elite Dangerous, but I do like playing Elite Dangerous. Everything is flammable when you've got chlorine trifluoride present. Everything is flammable. Yes. Chlorine trifluoride is crazy stuff. Okay, once again, we're back with the incredible rhyme animal. Public enemy number 1. And so we're going to wait for it to come around like here. Watch out for sharks. People are now talking about scary chemistry. Azozazide azide is more fun. We're not going to have the... This is the more awesome version of the Korolev cross, of course. Kraken, Kraken, Kraken. People are trying to invoke the Kraken by chanting its name. Kraken, 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 Kraken. Yeah, okay, I mean, look. Seriously, it's Kerbal Space Program. You just push space and you invoke the Kraken. Yes, chlorine... Well, anything with... Well, fluorine is a better oxidizer than oxygen, right? So chlorine trifluoride is better than fluorine. Cthulhu, 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 Cthulhu. Okay, so it says 4.5 kilometers. You know what I should find out? Here, you know what I should do, right? Is go add a maneuver here. Because I can't steer this thing, that's the thing, right? And we're going to do it 4.515 kilometers per second. So I got to get the exact number. So I got to make it exactly the right number here, right? This is how I'm going to figure it out. We're going to use mathematics here. We're going to use the power of maneuver nodes to make sure we can slam it right into the moon from a low Earth orbit. We're basically going to shoot the moon using our... We're going to shoot the moon using our low orbital ballistic missile laser thing. Okay, so that's where it's going, right? We know the way it's going to go. And now we just need to adjust the timing to make it happen exactly right. So I'm going to adjust the timing forwards. It's going to take a while, obviously. Ah! It's going to get us close, but no cigar. That's going to get us closer. And that's going to miss it. Okay, so... Now, if I make that slightly earlier, and I burn, if I do it slightly earlier, like here... I'm going to guess that's when I'm going to do it. Okay, so I'm F5ing. Because I think if I do it close to this, we will make it happen. Okay, so 8 hours and 30 minutes. That's how long it is until we light this sucker up. Yeah, this is like a so Trip to the Moon is basically a black and white movie, silent movie from 1908. Is widely considered to be the first science fiction movie. And it is a trippy, weird mess, and therefore fascinating. It's totally worth watching. If you have not watched it, you should absolutely watch it on Netflix. They remastered it, they recolored it using, and they did a soundtrack with Air, which again made things even more awesome. And yeah, I just don't know how to just heap praise upon this thing. It's fantastic. But it's like all these guys get together and they're like big long hair and they're wearing their academic robes and they're looking out the window and they're saying, "Look, the moon, the moon, the moon. I propose we build a big gun and we fire it at the moon and we'll have lots of really, hot women that will be loading the gun and parading next to it." And, of course, you have all these scenes with these parades and then they get to the moon and it's inhabited by crazy things. It's, yeah. Okay. We're getting close. Moon science. So I've done a quick save, you'll notice. And I think I'm going to just basically fire at the appropriate moment here. This is our rocket. And that is the moon. We're going to fire it near the eclipse. That's what's going to happen. Okay. And so this thing will burn through its rocket in seconds. 5 seconds is what it will last. So I'm going to try and hit this exactly. Why are people are crying that I did a quick save. Really? Okay, and slow down. Target. Actually, we're aiming a little low now I think about it. Okay, let's go for it. Whoa! Let's see where we end up. We missed it. We missed it by 19 kilometers! Ah! Oh, no, wait. No, actually, we totally missed it by a ton. I think we need to let it do some more orbits. Okay. Good thing. Nothing wrong with quick saves, huh? Do I know how to destroy planets in Kerbal? I've destroyed several planets in Kerbal. Which particular way are you referring to destroy planets in Kerbal? Because the number of ways in which planets can be destroyed in Kerbal is, as we say, how you say, myriad. Myriad destructiveness. Okay, I'm gonna add another couple of orbits to this thing. Because apparently my thrust vector is not coincident with this. So actually what I should do, now I think about it, what I need to do, and I hadn't figured this out correctly, is we wait until we're roughly here, and my orbit vector is actually nowhere near where it should be. So I should move this to where the orbit will be, right? So I need to find the spot in the orbit where the thing is more or less lined up with the velocity vector. Oh, you know what? Actually, yeah, that's what I need to do, is just align the maneuver node vector with it. Okay, so we're still missing the moon. But now we've at least lined it up with a maneuver node, we can trip time forwards, and we'll end up... we're barely scraped the sphere of influence, and we will slip past the moon. So, therefore, I need to add some radial velocity inwards. Okay. That is going to be a collision. That's where we're going to do it, okay? 3 hours. We're going for it, okay? I'm not going to be shooting anything at any politician's face because I don't do politics here. Oh, wait. No. Mistake. Because turning that turned the velocity vector. That is a problem. I think I'm going to try there. I'm going to try that. Okay, let's try that. 3 hours. You think this is going to be off? I think I'm going to save this because why not? If all you need to destroy a planet is a Twinkie about 2 AU long, technically that's only if you want to obliterate it with the same force that the Death Star did. But the Death Star is, of course, really not representative of planet-destroying schemes. Honestly, if you're going to destroy a planet, there are many more efficient ways to destroy planets. The Death Star is just like one of those things where you overbuild things, where you really just want to say, Princess, I can blow your place up because I'm badass, right? That's really what happens. We're shooting moon here. Oh, McPawn is saying hello from New Hampshire. It's so interesting. I'm streaming earlier than usual because my wife is out of town. And I thought I would, do this. Yeah, global warming doesn't really wreck a planet, but it does mess up everyone. It does mess up millions and billions of people's lives because you're pretty much going to flood all the coastal cities. Yeah, nothing really we can do much about that, so, okay, let's try this. The Death Star is the most Kerbal way to destroy a planet. Possibly. Okay, let's try this. And go. Oh. Go! Go! There we go. Excellent. Let's see where we end up. And... Man, I didn't do as good as... Oh, no, okay, yeah. So I totally ended up there. So I should have waited longer. I like how this thing totally was off by 324 meters per second. Okay. You can move to the Berkeley Hills. It will survive. What? It's more on the principle of things. Yes, people can move away, but on the principle of things, I prefer that we didn't, you know, kind of just rely on putting, you know, poor people underwater. I think that that is kind of the wrong approach. Okay. We're gonna try and do this again. And you know what? One thing I could do. Let's try that. Oh, once again, firing. I like how the velocity vector is basically completely unrelated. Okay. So F9. So I burned about 114, 115. No, we removed the second stage. So what I'm going to look at is the timing here, right? 1 day, 5 hours, and about 12 minutes. So we had about 12 minutes, so maybe 13 minutes this time. Let's try that. Okay, so we'll do it 10 minutes and 5 seconds. And if that's too late, we can adjust it forwards and backwards in time. Okay, so that is 1,000 kilometers. So let's try 11 minutes. So I'm just looking for the exact more time. The exact time. Hey Australia! How are you? Are you going to throw another shrimp on the Barbie, or are you going to punch me for making that joke? That terrible catchphrase. Seriously. Yeah, I know people from Australia. It's okay. And they don't punch me when I make that joke. Not often. I mean, you know, I think they just punch people for fun because, you know, most of them are kind of descended from criminals, right? Just kidding. Very smart criminals, obviously. The best kind of criminals also drinks. There we go. And oh, so I'm almost there. 1,000 kilometers. So I need to wait until 13 minutes. 13 minutes. I'm sorry if I offended any Australians, because you know what? I love you guys. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna zoom out there. Here we go. So I'm just gonna use the clock. Can I not zoom out anymore? Apparently this zoom out function is not working for some reason. Yeah, apparently this rocket is too big for zooming out. It is just like, you must look at my rainbow awesomeness close up forevermore. You must gaze upon the pride with which I present my rocket into deep space. Look at the purple shaft of this rocket as it prepares to penetrate the inky blackness of deep space on its way to the moon. We're going to go to 13. Lucky 13. A Star Trek mod for Stellaris. That sounds interesting. I heard there's someone doing an EVE Online mod. There we go. And fire. Let's see if that works. And I think we're on the wrong side of the moon now. Yeah, I'm actually too late. That's my problem. Okay, so I gotta rewind time. I'm just trying to shoot the moon in one burn from orbit. The Turdish... never mind. I'm not going to read this. Apparently this thing is not zooming out. We are pointing our freedom boomstick at the moon. At the moon. Okay, let's try... we tried about 10, didn't we? Let's try that again. I'm just Didn't get that. So 1032. Zoom and... So that's where the moon ends up, right? Oh, you know what? I should have waited maybe waited an orbit. Because this thing pretty much goes straight out there regardless of what I do. Wrong side of the moon. Yes, we're on the wrong side of the moon. No, we're not going to make any... We're going to do one burn to the moon. That's what we're doing. We're not doing any staging here, damn it. We're doing one burn. One burn is what I promised. Well, actually, I didn't make the promise. That's one burn is just what we had the crazy idea to do. So, if I add an extra orbit... If that's the first thing we're going to do, is add an extra orbit around here. And... 53, 54, 55, 56, 50... Let's try that. 5730. And... Oh, so close. So close, 150 kilometers off. So, I need to... I'll burn at 58, right? We'll basically wait a little longer, right? They're already tidally locked planets and moon. The moon is tidally locked to Kerbal, Lunar, and Ike are locked to each other. The main moons of Jewel are locked. Granted, without end-body physics, it isn't really tidally locked. More divine intervention. Ha! I like the way he said divine intervention. Look at that. Wow, you are so smart. All of Kerbal kind is waiting for me to shoot the moon. That is just... yeah. Okay. So, a few more seconds. Just need to wait a few more seconds. Okay, there we go. 52. And... once again, zoom out! Zoom out, damn it! It's not zooming out. I can't view this any other way. Apparently I've broken zooming out. Ha! We have shot the moon! Unfortunately, you cannot watch this thing on its way to the moon. But I'll try reloading and see if that will fix it. Yeah, so the zoom out button is not working. Therefore, we're pretty much riding along on our way to the moon. I promise that I propose to steal the moon. Oh wait, that's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible impersonation of Gru. Nice, it's going to be on the dark side as well. Oh yes. Oh man, we're going like straight down the middle there and everything. You know what, I'm gonna stage now. And maybe I can actually zoom out now. Nope, we are stuck zoomed in forevermore. Let's go back to the Space Center. Yeah, it's gonna be really, unfortunately, terrible low quality, but I'm gonna do this. Yes, this is like shooting a bullet with another bullet while riding a horse. Yep, no, Moonshot is still... It's not fair! It's not fair! Look, everything's gonna crash into the moon though. Maybe I switch to another body. Nope, can't zoom out. Can't... I'm gonna try zooming in and then zoom out. Nope, doesn't work. Yeah, zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. Well, we can just watch the moon, wherever it is, come in fast. Where is the moon? It must be that big black thing. There it is, there. Big black. Yes, we've sent our giant purple shaft of awesomeness towards the big black darkness. We're falling towards it at about 5 kilometers per second. Okay, 5, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, bang! And the moon is shot. The moon has been shot. My task is complete. And now it's still early. I'm like, what else can I do? I had this idea, you know, that somebody's saying, hey, you should play more X Rebirth. And X Rebirth was a horrifically buggy game when it was first released. And the thing about the developers is they do have a reputation for continuing to refine and fix their games. So I kind of had this idea, wouldn't it be fun to, like, you know, go in and see how their game has developed and changed and whatever. So I'm just going to try and fix this. So settings. Oh no, that's not what I need. I need to capture this. Let me just copy something. Hold on. Copy to... Copy. Okay, X. And then I need to edit something.
That's made by Deep Silver.
Yes, it is. It is made by Deep Silver. And I have hiccups! Okay, apparently I have a window rather than... Okay. X Rebirth. No, it's still showing me this. That is fantastic. Let me fix this. I'm still working on fixing this. I'm sure this will get fixed at some point. Because fixing is what I do. Ah, there we go. Yes! I'm drunk. I'm not drunk. No, I'm not going to play... So I can't play Star Citizen because the way they do their window management basically means that I can't capture the window. Star Citizen absolutely refuses to be anything but a borderless window, and you cannot drag the window into the wrong place. So if I played Star Citizen, I wouldn't be able to respond to your smart-ass comments. Let's do a new game. I don't know. Let's do the campaign. Should I do the campaign again? I'm gonna do the campaign again. Okay. Albion Skunk. Or Home of Light. What's this? Reunited with the Home of Light. Cash. Blah, 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 blah. I think I still need to learn to play the game. Let's just do easy. Just so I can get through the game. So, the game, unfortunately, really likes to be played on a gamepad. I've tried setting it up for my joystick, but it never works well. So I've ended up going back to the gamepad. It's unfortunate, but it's just a fact of life. Hold on.